I'm Ian Max Maxwell and I'm a tracker. Animals and people, they're both fair game. I'm on a quest to track wild creatures in some of the most hostile environments on Earth. Among them are rare and endangered species, so I'll be joined by locals and experts to take on this mammoth challenge. Each journey is certain to be a breathtaking adventure where I'll learn new skills and be pushed to the limit. But however determined I am, there are no guarantees. In this episode, I'll be learning new techniques.
In the world of tracking, this is something which is unique to snow and ice.
And use cover of darkness. All in the search for Eastern Europe's grey wolf.
Look at that. It's a fresh kill.
One of the most important parts of tracking is being able to adapt to new environments and changing situations. I've looked for animals in hot and cold conditions all over the world, but I've never tracked in snow and never in the freezing winters of Eastern Europe.
I've come to Poland, where I want to learn to track animals in wintry conditions. And where better to start than with Europe's apex predator, the wolf. It's always held a fear and fascination for me.
And this is the animal I'm after, a creature shrouded in myth and littered throughout folklore. So as well as learning what it's like to track in new conditions, I also want to separate fact from fiction as I get on the trail of this predator, an animal I've never seen before in the wild. After arriving in the capital Warsaw, I'm traveling for 6 hours northeast to Biebrza National Park. Wolf are known to live here, so it's an excellent place to take on this challenge. And as always, local knowledge will give me the best chance of good results. So I'm joined by our tour, a local wildlife expert who works for the park.
So just look at the snow.
Isn't
It's
it?
the first time I've been tracking in snow, Arthur.
Okay.
But let's have a look at this map, because I've got a quest.
So welcome to Biebrza National Park, Max.
Thank you.
The whole Biebrza Valley is divided into 3 basins. Upper basin, middle basin and lower basin. We are exactly, here in this forest complex.
So where should we start?
Well, we should spend as much time as we can, out in the forest and marshes to try to spot, some evidence, tracks, perhaps kill.
This is just a massive challenge. I'm just looking around a bit, the snow, and it's freezing cold here. So not only have we got these elusive, really wily wolves, but we've got the conditions against us. Freezing cold ice, wind, short days, it gets light here really late in the morning, and the sun disappears about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon.
As you know, wolves are very smart creatures, so I think we have to really work hard, to find signs or any evidence of wolf and the creature itself.
Okay, Arthur, let's hit the road.
There are 23 national parks in Poland, but Biebrza is the largest, covering an area of nearly 150 square miles. As we make our way into the park's lower basin to start our search, we see near the roadside one of the wolves' favorite prey.
This is just such a beautiful sight. It's so serene this time of the day in the snow. So that's an elk, is it?
What they call moose in the States, we call elk here in Europe. So actually, this is an elk, not a moose.
They're the same animals,
Yeah,
different name.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
As this female heads off into the woods, it's an opportunity to see what happens to fresh tracks in the snow.
The interesting thing here is that snow is so different to soft sand in the desert because it breaks down a lot quicker. Now, this is a bit that I use for aging a track, and this is a bit that's so different in snow, is that this central ridge line down here, where there's no pressure, has fallen into the track straight away.
My first prints in Poland, and already tracking the snow is proving to be a stiff challenge. The rulebook is completely different. Information I would normally use to track just doesn't apply in the snow and ice. If I'm to find a wolf, I'll have to learn as much as I can from our tour while I'm here. So we continue to track this elk, the largest of the deer family. Elk normally congregate in single-sex herds, but expectant mothers often leave the herd to give birth and only return when the calf is strong enough to escape predators like the wolf. We eventually catch up and find she's returned to a calf no more than a year old. Now I can understand why she's kept us firmly in her sights.
And this is classic herbivore behavior. What they do is they get up and they go away and they keep their eyes on you because they like to know exactly where you are at all times. But you might get spooked and then she'll run off, turn around again at us. This is truly a beautiful sight.
I'm learning more about what might be the movements of a wolf by observing the behavior of its prey. It's a good start, but then we find something much more interesting.
This is brilliant. These are my first wolf tracks here in Poland. I'm so excited. This is the back footprint from the wolf. And the reason I know that is it's smaller than the other ones that are around. And this one's quite slender, quite small, but also there's the claw marks. The 2 toes at the front, 2 toes to the side, and then the hind pad at the back. That's how I know it's wolf and not dog.
We decide to follow the trail of this wolf deeper into the forest. The temperature today is freezing, and it's only possible to carry on because of the cold weather clothes we're wearing. But although staying warm is vital, sometimes that can have a downside as well. Take this headgear, for example.
One thing about tracking here, I hate these hats, but you've got to wear them because it's so cold. You kind of take away your senses. I can't hear and I can't feel as much.
Eventually the trail breaks out into the open, but the freezing conditions are making my task difficult.
Well, I've come to the end of the trail here, but sometimes the bigger picture is more important. The trails run out on this icy road, but I can see just ahead of me is like a marsh area. If I was a wolf, thinking just like a wolf, I'd keep to the cover of this forest I've just tracked through, and then at the last moment, get over there and have a good look around.
It's a hunch that seems worth following, so we head towards the open marshes. We're looking now for any evidence that might help us pick up the trail, and sometimes the behavior of other animals can be a great guide.
I've just heard some ravens. This is just what I'm looking for. In this terrain, things are hard to find, but there could be a wolf killed just around the corner and out there in the open.
Ravens will often follow wolf packs in the hope of feeding off their kill, but wolves will also watch for circling ravens as a sign of possible food below. And then my suspicions are proved correct.
There's that animal remains, but the last thing I do is go straight to it. What I'm going to do now is a quick circuit, of course, looking into the bushes, but I'm hoping I'm going to pick up some fresh tracks coming in and getting away from that kill.
I look around, but there aren't any obvious wolf tracks yet. And on closer inspection, apart from a few bird pecks, this carcass is completely intact.
This is an elk calf. And I just wonder, it just died from a disease or something. If this was a pack of a wolf here, you know, I'm pretty sure half of the carcass would be already eaten, you know.
Not finding a kill is a disappointment, but this body can still be of use to us.
We've got this whole sort of dried up or frozen marshland ahead of us, bounded by trees. I think this is a good place to put a camera trap up that will capture any sort of image or movement of any other animals.
Camera traps are an excellent tool when tracking animals, but only if there's somewhere to mount them.
Have you got your axe?
Anywhere else in the world, you just put that into the ground. Artur, what we do normally is we just put the camera trap up and we make sure that it's got a good view of the animal. But we seem to be making an extraordinary effort here to keep the impact or view of it as small as possible. Why is that?
Well, when you look around, you can see it's very flat. So whatever is, you know, half a meter and above, it's immediately, you know, noticeable. Those animals which live here, you know, they sort of remember this area, you know, how it looks. They have a picture in mind, you know. So whatever there is something new, it looks already, you know, a bit suspicious, and they might be, you know, a bit afraid of it.
With our camera trap set, we move away from this dead elk so our equipment can blend into the surroundings. As we head back through the marshes, it's a chance for me to learn more about the wolf and its habitat.
What a glorious landscape this is, Artur.
The wolves, they use both forests and the marshes as well. Most of the time they occupy the woods, the forests. They can, you know, dig a hole and build a nest there. And then for hunting, of course, they may do both. They may hunt in the forest as well as here out in the marshes.
Well, this is classical behavior with a predator coming in from the forest to find its food in an open area. What would a wolf eat?
Red deer and roe deer appear to be a main prey of the wolves, but of course they wouldn't mind, you know, to eat an elk. It's a huge portion of meat. They wouldn't mind to eat, you know, a brown hare if they catch it. Over vegetation season, they wouldn't mind to eat, you know, just simply, you know, berries.
So the #1 predator in the area, the wolf, eats berries. That's surprising.
Well, they do it just over vegetation season, and of course they don't do it permanently. I mean, once in a while they have to catch, you know, some big herbivore, but they wouldn't mind, you know, to eat berries. So why not?
The more I learn about the wolf, the more I'm struck by the resourcefulness and endurance of this creature. 80% of Poland is rural. Incredibly, there are as many farms here as in the whole of the United States. And Biebrza is no exception. Together with its surrounding buffer zone, the park is home to around 1,000 small holdings. I want to know what it's like to live so close to the wolf, so I've come to meet Christoph.
Hi, I'm Max.
I invite my
Oh,
home.
fantastic.
He's an artisan who lives here in the park.
This is an amazing place. Look at it.
It is very old house.
That's a witch with a kind of evil person, is it?
Sometimes in the marshes I saw.
You've seen a witch?
Yes, by night.
You saw a witch at night. I think we're in for a real treat here with folklore and information. He's seen a witch, and we've only got to the steps. Let's keep going. This is amazing. This is like a fairy story. It's like a Hansel and Gretel house in the middle of the woods, right in the heart of wolf country. It must be quite a spooky place to live in at night, in the heart and dark of winter.
I like winter. I like winter. I like it's difficult life. I like difficult life.
Fantastic.
Sometimes I see wolf and elks. Elks every day. Wolf sometimes. Sometimes go to near my home.
The predator wolf can have a serious image problem, but Christoph has found them more shy and fearful of humans than aggressive and threatening. He treasures the times when he's been able to see them, and along the way he's picked up a few interesting wolf remains.
Was this an adult wolf?
This is old wolf.
Now this is crucial information for me, because if you come across a wolf kill, what I want to do is look at the bite across there, from the top canines to the bottom canines. That's really important information, because if we come across a kill or a carcass, looking at it, we might be able to see where the teeth went into it.
In the past, Christoph has seen wolves near his home. I want to check out the area, and we find what for a tracker can only be described as a magical place. It's a small field covered in snow, and it's full of tracks.
I'm used to tracking in hot areas of the world, the jungles and deserts, but tracking here in the snow can be quite easy. The reason for that is just here, I've got this blank piece of paper, and tracks show up on it, look like it's been done with black ink. The angle of the sun is so low, it shows all the tracks up really well. Now what I want to do is to go in and see what's in there. So what have we got here?
This looks like a roe deer,
Yeah,
because it's a small
I
print.
can see some of the cleaves.
Yeah,
This is fascinating, because literally anything that's come through here is
so
shown
many
up,
of
isn't
them.
it?
Yeah, you are right.
There's a saying in tracking, if you find the prey, you find the predator. This field is covered in tracks made by animals we know wolves feed on. The wolves themselves can't be far away.
It's of course an elk.
Do you think that's a male or a female elk?
I think that's a male. It's a really big print.
Ah, this is the first brown hair track I've seen in snow, but it's so obvious, isn't it? You can see the slipper shape, the size of a finger. That's brilliant. That's lovely to see.
There's another one here.
Oh, look at that.
Seems to be a fox, like a straight line, a small print. Here, there's two tracks crosses. So one is fox and the other one is red deer.
Red deer. So everything is just converging in here, isn't it? In just a few minutes tracking on the snow, which is absolutely perfect, we found loads of animals. We found fox, red deer, roe deer, elk, brown hare, wild boar, but no wolf. Come on, let's go and track. Just love it here. So many animals.
So many
Yeah,
animals,
it's
so
really
many
brilliant.
trucks. Just in one little field.
Well, it's only because the field has captured them, isn't it?
Oh,
It means
yeah.
that they're out there. It's just they've left their prints here.
Although there's no sign of wolves, this field has been a great example of how the conditions in Poland can make finding tracks easy. But it's not just prints that can give away the location of an animal.
Archie, is this the European wood ant?
That's right, yeah.
So what
An
happens
anthill.
here? What's this?
Oh, well, that's a typical anthill, you know. Of course, now they are, let's say, hibernating, you know, down in the ground. But, you know, as early as spring arrives, the first, you know, sun comes in and they will be awakened. They do a good job, you know, for the forest. These are just dried needles of a spruce.
This is so different to the UK, because in the UK, the southern wood ant, even now in the winter, is active. And if you did that, they'd all come to the surface. They go right deep inside to hibernate. Come the summer, this is going to be really busy, quite noisy, I think, as well, isn't it? With the
Yeah,
crackling. Yeah.
The cold weather clearly has an effect on the behavior of the animals that live here, but it can also alter their tracks.
Oh, these look interesting. These look like dog tracks, definitely canine.
This is fox, you know, and the print looks much more bigger than it is in reality, but this is mainly because of the snow is melting, and then it makes, you know, the print a bit bigger, you know, than normally, and it might be a bit confusing.
So that's something we've got to watch out for. This track here, it started to melt from the inside out, and then tonight it might freeze over again. Tomorrow the sun comes up, it starts to melt from the inside out again. So progressively, the track gets bigger and bigger and bigger. In the world of tracking, this is something which is unique to snow and ice.
Again, I'm finding that tracking here involves a whole new set of rules. The more I find, the more there is for me to learn. We've located good animal tracks, but disappointingly, so far, no wolf. But sometimes in tracking, all it takes is a lucky break before you're back on the trail.
Wow, Arthur, look at these.
Fantastic.
Wolf prints.
Well, this is just brilliant and so clearly defined. How do we age this track?
Well, you can see this print, you know, it's like very deep. So what you can read from it, it's both the animal was heavy and the snow was soft, because you can see it got as deep as down to the ground. You can see even, you know, some sand here within the print, right? So these days temperature drops down below zero over the nighttime, so you can see the soft snow already got frozen. So this print might be I don't know, 3-4 days old, something like that.
This track of a lone male is a great result. Then it gets even better.
Just look at these tracks.
There's more than one wolf here.
First of all, we had one set. Now we're getting a convergence of more than one wolf. This is a pack, and it almost looks to me like they're quite anxious. Their stride is very small. Maybe getting into a hunting formation. I don't know, but we'll find out more.
A wolf pack cannot increase its size forever, so young adults will leave the pack to find a mate, and it's through this dispersal that wolves avoid the problems of inbreeding.
The pack was probably hunting, you know, as you can see, sometimes with just one line of the truck, sometimes we see as the pack just split it. So that they were definitely hunting.
But this is a nightmare to track because they're all over the place and they're just disappearing off into the pine needles, turning left and turning right. So I think we'll go and see what we can find, yeah?
Let's try it.
It's clear that wherever we go, from snow to fields to marshland, tracks are behaving differently. And now I'm finding that woodland also has a significant effect on our ability to follow a trail.
These are getting harder and harder to find. Just a minute ago we were running on them because they're so defined in the snow and so deep. But the temperature here is different within these pine trees. So the tracks are getting much more shallow. And I've got one here, but I'm gonna have to follow them one by one. But it's heading through these pine needles and that's almost impossible to track through.
We keep up the search, but it's soon clear that to continue looking for clues is pointless.
This is my worst nightmare, is losing the tracks of a wolf that was so hot at one point. But coming through these pine needles, there's a hunting formation going on, so they split off, they come back together again. So I'm going to cut my losses here and find these other tracks.
Although it may be the end of the road for this trail, it isn't for our chances of seeing a wolf. As well as being expert hunters, wolves are known to scavenge for their food. And with the recently dead elk on the marshes, we may have better luck with the camera traps we set earlier. As night falls, we make our way back to the open marsh. I hope the camera traps have had more luck than me in being able to witness this incredibly shy creature.
We've got some video on the camera trap. Oh, that's a bit messy actually. All the guts are pulled out. Pulled out this way, like that.
We return to the hotel to view the tapes. Will they reveal my first wolf in Poland?
Oh, there's some wildlife. I can see some ravens here. Oh, here comes another raven performing for the camera. And they're kind of hopping around. And he's gone. Been out there tracking in the snow and ice all the while that the camera trap is out. I was so looking forward to maybe getting a wolf walking in on this.
would have been the icing on the cake after all that hard work, but that's it. I've gone through them all. I really had my fingers crossed, but all we got so far is Raven.
We got room? No luck so far, so we're going to go north to find another pack of wolves, and maybe our luck will change.
There are thought to be around 100 packs of wolves in Poland, the largest population in Central Europe. Biebrza National Park should be a great place to look for them, but with no luck in its southern basin, I'm traveling to the middle, where wolves are also known to roam. But before we resume tracking, Artur has a treat for me at a nearby wildlife park. It may help in the search for this elusive predator.
This is really exciting because I know that there's a wolf in here really close. And my heart is just racing because I can see it there, it's just in there.
There's a saying that the wolf sees you 4 times before you see it. It's an unnerving thought.
There's something that really scares me about wolves, and I can't explain it clearly. My palms of my hands are sweating. It's the first time I've ever seen a wolf. And I just can't explain it. There's some deep feeling about it, and I think it's because just before I saw it, it kind of poked its ears up. I saw its ears first, and then it kind of looked. It's an eerie feeling, but it's such a beautiful creature. And their nose is always going and the ears are up. Spooky feeling.
This wildlife park at Kadzilova covers 40 square miles and it's home to many animals, among them wild horses, deer, buffaloes, moose, and of course, the wolf. There are 4 in this enclosure, but in the wild they live in close family packs of anywhere between 6 to 15 members. Getting this close not only helps me to understand something about their behavior, but also how to recognize better the evidence they leave behind.
One of the good things about coming to this enclosure, it gives me a chance to look at things like scat or animal feces in much more detail. Artur, there's some scat down here, and I just wondered if that could be a mark of territory.
This is one of the way how wolves mark their territory, yeah.
And once they put it down, do they scratch like a dog?
They may, yes, they may. Not always, but they may. But they also, you know, scratch the ground, and this is another sign how they mark the territory.
These captive wolves may live for up to 16 years. In the wild, around 10 years is more common. It's been wonderful seeing them in the flesh, but it's time I got on the trail of some wild specimens. So we leave the enclosure behind to continue my search for the wolf. We're on our way to meet a ranger in the middle basin of the park. But rangers aren't the only ones here who may have good information for us.
We're just going to stop this tractor and talk to one of the guys who's on it, because locals might have loads of information. Hi.
Rozgrzewać jest?
How are you?
Jest rozgrzewać?
Good to meet you.
Drink jest?
Drink?
Cold no.
Vodka?
Yes.
Ah, this is good. This is what, early in the morning. This gentleman's offered me some vodka. Thanks.
This reed cutter is certainly high in spirits, and he's happy to share a story of a close encounter with a wolf.
A teraz tylko są ślady, bo to jest w innym kierunku do Trzcin.
So 2 years ago, when we were going out, to the marshes early in the morning, there was no truck, on the dike we were walking on. On the way back, we noticed, a fresh track of wolves. So, we went and we followed, the truck for a little while, and then I noticed, the wolf just jumping out of the willow bushes.
No widział, on szedł mi, bo jak ja szedłem prosto, my szli w tym kierunku, a on szedł w tym kierunku. I on szedł tu za krzak.
They tried to follow him, and of course the wolf ran away.
Jest taka zasada, że mówi się boi człowiek się boi wilka, a wilk nie jest groźny dla otoczenia w ogóle. O, Luke, widzisz to, a na rysunku to wiesz jaka robota. No, zobaczyć z bliska, to jest różnica.
His observation was it's just like the wolf wasn't really afraid of human, and the other way around, they weren't also afraid, of the wolf. What people might be afraid of is, wolf howling, in winter time, right? That's because, it brings the fear that, oh, it's like, you are a bit, shaking when you hear a wolf howling.
Strasznie mocno. Takowy, o.
It's very scary. It's very scary.
I can just imagine what it's like out here on your own cutting with the wolf howling just like that around you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
It's great to hear stories like this, but this sighting was old and no indication that wolves are still in the area. But fortunately for me, the local ranger, Piet, has some fantastic news. Fresh wolf tracks and not far away.
Pyta o te małe kryształki, jak długo czasu potrzeba, żeby
Około jednego dnia. Wczoraj po południu, aż do trawy na tym mokrym śniegu.
Piotr has brought us to an area and he's suddenly gone into tracker mode. I'm a newbie, a bit green behind the ears with tracking in snow, so I'm probably going to learn a lot from this guy. Right, so we're looking at these tracks here, and how old do you think they are?
Jak myślisz, z jakiego?
Około jednego dnia. Wczoraj po południu, przed południem.
Just like, last evening. This track was left here when the snow was very, very soft.
Yeah.
And for the last, few nights, we have temperature below zero, which means that, the soft snow got harder. And then when you walk on it now, even when you make a step, it doesn't go, deep into the snow.
Because of these conditions, the track has a timestamp. Ice crystals are formed after the track was made, and that could only have happened with the drop in temperature last night.
Just like, you leave your vehicle, in the evening and the windshield is clear, then you come in the morning and you got frost on it.
I knew I was going to learn something completely new here, something I hadn't even thought about. To me, when you've got something inside a track that's kind of looking slightly randomized, means that it's old. Here, crystals have started to grow, but they weren't here yesterday before the sun went away, so we are onto tracks that are less than 1 day old.
So already in this new search area, we have a fantastic result. Wolf tracks left within the last 24 hours. We continue to follow the trail of this wolf, and then we come across evidence I've never encountered before.
Otto, what have we got here?
This is wolf's urine. Now, during mating season, very often they mark territory like this,
I'm just going to do something which in tracking, it's bizarre, but I'm going to have a sniff to see what it smells like so I can recognize it later on. Ooh, okay. What does it smell like?
Cheeseburger.
That's a good description, like a cheeseburger. It smells unusual. Cheeseburger. It's a good description. It's a cheeseburger. Okay, let's go.
The dot to dot of this trail leads us out onto the marshes. And then we strike gold, an area covered in signs of wolf activity.
What have we got here? This is the first time I've seen anything like this at all.
Beautiful place, look. We can find a lot of information here. It's a sort of like, a playground of wolves. You can see that's urine here, this yellowish snow, which indicates that, that's a sort of marking place. So they mark the territory. You have to still bear in mind that, it's a mating time. We've got some hares.
First contact. So this could indicate that there was mating going on here.
Yeah.
When the alpha male and female mate, they will often nibble and groom each other. So this hare is a sign that they are either about to mate or have just recently mated. If successful, after around 2 months, the female will produce a litter of up to 6 cubs, and they'll be provided for by the whole pack.
They were lying around here.
Yeah, they were lying down, playing together. You can see the snow is kind of smashed.
How long ago do you think?
It's not that old. Maybe last night, yeah, something like that, because we've got this snow crystals already, or ice crystals. But it doesn't look very old.
How many wolves do you think have been here?
Well, 4 or 5.
This is really exciting. We're getting lots of tracks and scat and feces. Now we've got this layup point, possible mating. So this is a fascinating find, but it's at the end of the day and we've wandered far out into these marshes and I can see it's getting dark. I think we should head back now, don't you?
We better go.
Okay, let's go.
Crossing the treacherous marsh at night will be dangerous, and we don't want to be caught out. So with dusk nearing, the wolf will have to wait for tomorrow. Piet has given us a great head start in our search for wolves in this new area. I feel we are close, but they're still proving tricky to find. So before we return to the marsh, I'm going to try a new tactic.
This kettle should boil up in a minute or two and we're away.
This storm kettle is a useful device when you're out in the wild. It's made of 2 layers of metal and a hollow core. You light a fire in the middle, which is protected from the wind, and the water that surrounds it heats up quickly. But a warming cup of tea isn't my only motive for using this device.
The benefit of this is you can get some smoke on yourself, which disguises all kinds of smells. And the reason for that, animals can smell the scent, washing powder or soap, toothpaste, all that kind of stuff from a long distance. But I cover myself with the smoke because it's a natural smell, and nature doesn't get worried about the smell of smoke. Oh, kettle's boiled.
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie.
We've now done as much as we can to prepare for tracking these elusive creatures. We've studied their behavior, we have the most up-to-date local knowledge, and we've covered up our scent with smoke. But there are some things we have no control over.
Well, the weather's just changed and the pressure's dropped and there's rain coming in at the moment, so I'm going to put on waterproof trousers. But on top of the waterproof trousers, I'm going to put some camouflage because these are black. Black is the worst colour to wear in the forest. The reason for that is it becomes a big moving blob. Something lighter, like an orange or something, at least some shadows are cast on that. So I'm going to cover the black up with this green here.
With the weather taking a turn for the worse, any good omens are more than welcome.
I'm just reading here, this viewing tower is situated in the central part of the Middle Basin on top of a dune named Biebrza Góra. What is that?
Biebrza Góra? It means exactly a wolf hill.
Wolf Hill. Well, that's got to be good luck because I'm sure not far from here we're going to find some wolf tracks. And now in these horrible wet conditions, we've got to track them down. Come on, let's go.
Let's do it.
Heading back towards yesterday's marsh, we find new clues, and lots of them.
What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get down and have a look at this line of wolves because they're coming from all over the place. One going that way, converging. One thing for sure, this is a major trail. A road is always a good place to look, but to get a feel for where they're walking, I'm just going to go down a little bit lower and see what happens. Oh, 1, 2, 3. These tracks were all put down at the same time. There's one line which goes along here, another one there, another one there. It says 1, 2, 3, and then there's one wolf which has gone down this direction. So it could be wolf number 4. Arthur, what do you think?
Could be a whole pack, so 4, maybe 5, as they can step. They can, walk into the same steps one after another. So
This is exciting because we're on a trail, a good territorial area for a wolf. They can travel very quickly and almost silently on this road.
This is a strong lead, so we follow and then we find more evidence.
This wolf scat right here is a very good territorial marking, just a little bit higher than everything else. And that increases our chances dramatically.
I feel I'm getting closer to these wolves. Then, a sign that I'm on the right track.
There's a white-tailed eagle just flying over the horizon there. It was chased by some ravens. But one thing I know about the white-tailed eagle, it scavenges as well. So I think we're getting into an area. Ravens are fighting with the white-tailed eagle. The wolf trails are moving all over the place here. It's just a matter of hours, maybe minutes before something happens. This is such a hot trail. You just got to follow your nose sometimes.
And then, my best find yet.
Look at that. It's a fresh kill.
Look at that.
The question in my mind, Artur, was it a death by natural cause and then scavenged by the wolves, or did the wolves take it down?
It's difficult to say just looking at this carcass, you know.
After a quick scan of the area, I can see a crime scene unfolding. My gut feeling is that it was killed by a pack of wolves.
But the most important thing now is to go away from the carcass and work out the battlefield and see if I can put together this whole murder mystery. I've got some wolf tracks here. They're not all that clear, but there's one there, and then one there. And then these leaves are in a pattern, but these ones here are disturbed. They're much darker, kind of churned up, and also some of these green bits are pushed over. And we've got a natural trail and some natural cover. Now linking that together with some tracks behind us, and the fact that it actually pops up to where the elk is, leads me to think that this is the route that they used for their cover going into the attack mode. Just around this tree, there's a huge amount of disturbance. I can see the grass has moved in different directions. Here, for example, it's been pushed back, and these bits of greenery have been completely crushed. So, going by that, this is where a violent attack took place, and from here on in, the elk's fate was sealed. There's mouthfuls of fur. Maybe more wolves would have joined the fight here. Another bite, shoom. Now we're getting fur all over the place, more mouthfuls, more jaws. And the wolves start to feed on his soft stomach first. And this brown stuff here is the stomach contents, half digested food. And that is where the elk died. The elk was then dragged by the wolves into this depression here in the fight for food and into an area they thought they had more cover.
This is a superb find. I feel I'm now hot on the trail and definitely getting closer to the wolf. But with my trip nearing its end, I don't have much time left. So I need to try a different approach. I'm going to let the wolf find me. And for that, I must wait for the cover of darkness.
I come back to a hotspot that we identified earlier on. Some sand and some tracks, the kill nearby. I've got something here to try and get them to call back. The predator caller. All I've got to do now is turn this on, pull out the call, and see if they call back.
All hopes are now pinned on this piece of kit if I'm going to find a wolf here in Poland.
On a still night like tonight, sound carries a huge distance, and they've got such sensitive ears. Now, it's just a question of seeing whether they respond to this call. Keep my ears open. I know they're out there somewhere. Will I get them? I hope so. silent out there now.
And then, at last, in the far distance, we have the sound of a whole pack of wolves.
Did you hear that? Listen to that howl. It was like, the whole pack was calling, but then one really strong howl. It's just a full moon, but it's surrounded by a haze, and I think that's what they're howling at. The wolves are coming in this direction. I could hear them howling from where we were yesterday. There's only one way out of that place, and it's in this direction, along this road. I know they were hunting here nearby. There's a really good chance they're going to come closer. Fingers crossed that they could pop up so close to us. And I say, that's like a kid at a fairground. I really want to go on that ride, but when you actually go on it, it's really scary.
An amazing result. We have actually made contact and we have a whole pack of wolves calling. But just when I think it can't get any better than this,
This is amazing, We hear two packs. One was calling from over there. This one is even closer to us. And this is for the first time we hear this pack over here. That's excellent. This pack is probably the one we were following this morning.
with the use of the predator caller, we have attracted not just the attention of one pack, but incredibly two packs of wolves, and we are right in the middle. But I fear this is as close as I'm going to get to this sensitive and elusive creature. It was hard going, but I finally tracked the wolves down for a moonlit serenade. I've had an amazing experience in Biebrza National Park. Although the wolf was just one step ahead of me, and I didn't get that fleeting glimpse I was hoping for, we weren't far off. It was really exciting. I've just had an amazing time, but now it's time for me to leave Poland, and I want to come back and get those wolves.